We've just been talking about how to use effects in Premiere, and I wanted to show you one of my favorite ways in which to apply effects to any sort of video in your projects. This is something that works really well if you want to be able to keep the adjustments or the effects separate of the video. This gives you a lot more flexibility. So let's look at how we can use adjustment layers to control our effects. The first thing that I wanted to show you is how you can remove an effect if you need to. So this clip right here has an effect that we've applied and I want to remove it. I'm using some Lumetri color effect on this, and now I've decided I want to get rid of it. I'm going to right click and we're going to choose Remove Attributes. This will open up the Remove Attributes dialog box. In the Remove Attributes dialog box, you're going to select the attributes that you want to keep. So I will uncheck all of the attributes that I want to keep, and I'll simply check the attributes that I want to get rid of, which in this case is the Lumetri color effect. I'll click OK, and the effect is going to be removed, and then the video will revert back to its original state. Now we're going to apply this effect, but we're going to do it as an adjustment. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and park my playback head at the beginning of this clip. And for now, let's just go ahead and switch this back to the Learn workspace. So I'm going to go to Workspace, Learning, since this is what we've been using for most of our course. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply an adjustment layer. The easiest way to apply an adjustment layer is to go to your project window and you're going to click on your new item. Right here, you can choose to make a variety of things, one of which is an adjustment layer. I'm going to select Adjustment Layer, and it's going to specify the settings in which you want the adjustment layer to be created. In most cases, you should just use the default settings because they should match your sequence settings. I'll click OK, and it's going to go ahead and create an adjustment which will appear in your project window. Once the adjustment has been created, you can simply grab it and drag it to your project. And you can resize the adjustment so that it covers one or many clips. By default, the adjustment doesn't have anything on it, so it's not doing anything. But what we can do is we can apply any sort of effect to the adjustment layer. So for instance, if I open up my effect pane, and if we go into our video effects, and for right now, I'm just going to go to Noise, and I'll drag the noise effect. And now I'm going to open my effect controls, and we'll just go ahead and add a bunch of noise. And you can see that the noise effect has been added to this clip. If we scrub through the timeline, the noise effect is also going to be applied to the subsequent clip. So anywhere that the adjustment resides is going to contain or hold this particular noise effect. I'm going to right click and clear this effect to get rid of it. And now what we'll do is we'll go back to the video clip that contains the Lumetri color that we created in an earlier exercise. I'm going to copy this clip, and then I'll come to the adjustment layer. I'm going to right click and choose Paste Attributes. We're going to make sure that the Lumetri color effect is being pasted in. I'll click OK, and now this adjustment layer holds the Lumetri effect. Any place that the adjustment layer is going to reside within my project is going to be affected and controlled by this particular effect. I find this to be one of the most useful ways to apply effects, as they are non-destructive and you can easily remove them or augment them without affecting the underlying clips. In addition, you can apply the effects to a multitude of clips throughout your project, which makes it so much easier. You can make multiple adjustment layers, so if you want to keep your effects separate, you could make adjustment layers that would contain individual effects, or you can just stack on multiple effects to a particular adjustment layer. For instance, if we go back to our first clip in which we had created a variety of effects, and if we copy this and go back to the adjustment layer, and I'll just go ahead and use paste attributes. I'm going to go ahead and paste in these attributes. And of course, these attributes are going to override the attribute that we currently had. So that will disappear. But if I click OK, those attributes have now been applied to the adjustment layer. And the clips that are going to reside underneath the adjustment layer are going to be affected by that particular adjustment. As you can see, this is a very flexible way in which you can apply adjustments. I personally find this to be the most helpful way in which to apply adjustments to my project. I use this all the time when I'm doing color corrections because it's often that many of my clips will need to have similar adjustments. And I can very easily just extend the adjustment layer to apply those exact same adjustments to a variety of clips.